Good morning class. Now in this chapter staffing, today we will start the next topic, that is components of staffing. So the components of the staffing, three components are there. First one is recruitment, second selection, and third is training. So that means recruitment plus selection plus training is equals to staffing. So first we will start with the first step, that is recruitment. Okay, this is the flow chart. These points we are going to discuss in this topic. So now first of all, let's discuss the meaning of the recruitment. Recruitment means including or attracting more and more candidates to apply for vacant job positions in the organization. Or maybe in the literal way we can say that recruitment means search for the candidates who can perform the vacant roles in the company. And exactly the recruitment function is very important, because the end result of the recruitment function is receiving large number of applications to make selection from. Because recruitment nahi hoga, after that only we will do the second function we can perform, that is the selection. Now let's discuss what are the sources by which we can complete this task of the recruitment. There are the two sources of the recruitment. First one is your internal and second one is your external. So first I am going to discuss over here external sources. After that we will discuss its advantages and disadvantages also. So first of all, internal sources. Under the internal sources of the recruitment, the vacant jobs are filled by inducing the existing employees of the organization, and the vacant job positions are filled by using existing employees only, and no outsiders are permitted in the internal sources. Okay, that means we will fill the job positions from the internal sources, from the existing employees only. Now internal sources, there are the two types of the internal sources. That means under the internal recruitment, following methods of the recruitment are used. First is transfer, second one by the promotion. That means by the two ways we can fill the recruitment by the internal sources. So first let's discuss transfer function. Transfer means shifting of employees from one job position to the other at the same level of authority. Generally with the transfer there is no change in the compensation level and the authority level. There is no change even in his rank also, responsibilities and prestige. Only the place of working is changed. For example, just like transfer of clerk from accounts department to purchase department. So that means in the internal sources we will fill the recruitment, we will fill the vacant job positions by the existing employees. So the first internal source by which we can fill, that means by transferring the employee from one department to the another department. Now the second method of the recruitment under the internal sources, that is the promotion. First I have done, that is the transfer from one department to the another. Now let's discuss with the second, that is promotion. Promotion refers shifting of employees from one job position to other with high level of authority. So in the promotion, the authority level, the rank, the responsibilities and the prestige of the employee improves, and generally with the promotion there is increase in the compensation or salary also. For example, promotion of a clerk to the accountant post. Okay, so that means first of all we are discussing the components of the staffing. Three components are there: recruitment, selection, training, and first step we are going to discuss, that is the recruitment. So recruitment can be done, they are the two sources by which we can fulfill the vacant jobs. First by the internal sources. So in the internal sources we will not ask the any other employee from the outside, we will fill the positions with the existing employees. So under the internal requirement, two methods are used. First one by the transfer, that means we can shift the employee from one job position to the another, but his rank, his responsibilities, his authorities, everything is same. But in the promotion we shift the employees from one job position to the higher level of the job position, and with this job position he will get the higher authority level, more rank, more responsibility and more prestige also. Okay, now advantages and disadvantages of the internal recruitment. internal sources advantages, first of all, it is economical, right? Because we are not giving any advertisement, we are not hiring anyone from the outside, so it is economical. Second, it motivates the existing employees because they can shift from one department to the another, so overall development can be done of the employees. Third, less amount is spent on training because the employee is already habitual of the industry, he knows the working conditions, so there is less amount is spent on the training. Fourth, the employees are already familiar with the rules and the regulations of the organization, so this is also the good advantage when we are shifting the person from one job to the another job position, or maybe from the one department to the another, so he knows the rules and the regulations of the company, so ज़्यादा problem नहीं होती है. Last one, improve the performance of the employees. Obviously, when we are shifting the employee from one job position to the another, or maybe from one department to the another, it improves the performance of the employees. To get the promotion, employee shows better promotion. And through transfer, employees get training also in the form of the job rotation. They get their all over development had done in the industry. Now, what are the drawbacks of the internal sources? Drawbacks of the internal sources: no fresh or new ideas will come in the organization. That means we are shifting our existing employees from one department to the another, so we are not getting any fresh ideas, or not a fresh human resource also we are not getting. Second demerit आपका, there will be limited choice because you are using the existing employees, we are not getting the fresh human resource, so limited choice is there. Another one drawback, not suitable for the new organization, because new organization is at the verge of the expansion, at the verge of the growth, so it needs more innovation, more fresh people, more fresh mind, so it is not suitable for the new organization if they will shift their employee from one department to the another. Now, this is your internal sources is done, advantages, disadvantages, and the methods of the internal source is also done. Now let's start with the external sources. So external sources, when the candidates from the outside are invited, when the candidates are invited from the outside to fill the vacant job position, then it is known as a external sources or external recruitment. Or in other words, we can say when the organization meets its manpower requirement from outside the organization, then it is called external recruitment. Now, let's discuss what are the common methods of the external sources of requirement. See, this much whatever I have written, these all are the sources of the external recruitment. So one by one we will discuss. First of all, direct recruitment. Direct recruitment, that means sometimes the organization pastes notice at the gate of their offices or factory or at the workshop stating the vacant job position. So the people, those who are interested, they just come for the interview, and this method of external recruitment is the most suitable for unskilled job positions, just like we want peons, sweepers, for all such things. This is the best method. Now the next one is the casual callers. Casual callers, generally the large organizations maintain an application file in which they keep all the pending applications which the job seekers leave with the reception, and sometimes the applications of the suitable candidates who were not selected in the previous year's selection process are also kept in the application file. So this application file is considered as a waiting list. So whenever there is a job vacancy, the suitable candidates from the waiting list are called. So in the direct recruitment, directly the papers is pasted on the gate of the company, and those who are the job seekers, they directly come for the interview. And second, casual callers, that means the company usually maintain an application file in which they kept the resumes of the previous candidates, those who were not selected last year, or maybe those who were the pending applications are also kept over there. So they collect their resumes, and after that they call the candidate one by one according to their requirement. Now the third external source is advertising. Advertising, the most common and the popular method for the external recruitment that is the advertisement. That means the organization select the media of the advertisement keeping in mind the requirement of job position. For example, like for the job of an accountant, the advertisement can be given in the Chartered Accountant General, and for unskilled and the lower rank job positions, the advertisement can be given in local or regional newspaper. But for the high rank and the skilled job position, the advertisement is given in national level reputed newspaper such as Times of India or in any other newspaper. Now the fourth one, employment exchange. Employment exchange, government employment exchanges act as a middleman between the job seekers and the organizations who have vacant job positions. So the job seekers leave their biodata and details of their qualification with the employment exchange, and when the organization approach, employment exchanges the suitable candidates with them. Next one, placement agencies. Placement agencies and the management consultant also we can say. Placement agencies provide nationwide services of matching demand and supply of workforce. And these agencies invite the biodata and record from various job seekers and send them to suitable clients. So these agencies charges fees for providing such services, and these are the kind of the employment exchanges which is run by the private enterprises. Actually the employment exchange is the government and placement agencies are the private enterprises, but both are doing the same work. Both are collecting the biodatas of the job seekers, and they always they act as a mediator between the job seekers and between the organization, and both are maintaining the demand and supply of the workforce. Now the next one is the campus recruitment. Yeah, this is most important because now in these days this is done. Sometimes the senior managers of the organizations visit various professional colleges, technical institutes to get the fresh graduates or the people with the latest technological know-how. So this type of recruitment is more common for engineers, for computer programmers, etc., and for the MBAs also. Okay. Now the next one is the recommendation. Recommendation from whom? Recommendation from the present employees. That means the employees which are working in the company, if they recommend someone, they're like many firms which encourages their employees to recommend the names of their relatives, friends and other known people just to fill the vacant job position. So the organization prefer recommendation by trusting the goodwill of the present employees, and the organization can catch hold of existing employees if there is any problem with the new employee recommended by him. Next one is the labor contractors. Labor contractors, jobbers and contractors are the people who keep in touch with the labor in the village and in the rural areas. So whenever there is a vacancy or the requirement for labor in a factory or in the construction site, they bring the labor from the villages and supply to the businessman. So labor contractors maintain close contact with the laborers, and they can provide the required number of unskilled workers at the short notice. Next one is your advertisement. Advertisement on television. A new trend of external recruitment is telecast on the various channels regarding vacant job positions, and they telecast the requirement of the job along with the qualification necessary to apply. See, don't get confused with the advertisement and the third external source, that is advertising. Now the last one is the web publishing. In internet there are the certain websites specifically which is designed to provide information regarding the job seekers and companies which have the vacant job position. So these websites can be visited by the job seekers as well as by the companies also. Like some common websites are monster.com, naukri.com, etc. Now merits and the demerits of the external sources. First of all, let's discuss the advantages. First of all, fresh talent. Yeah, with the external recruitment we will get the new and the fresh talent. Second thing, wider choice. Obviously through the external recruitment we will get the wide choice from outside the company. Third, we will get the qualified personnel. Fourth, through the campus interview we will get the employees with the latest technological knowledge. And last one, through the external recruitment, when outsiders join the organization, it develops a competitive spirit in the existing employees of the organization. So these are the advantages. Now demerits. First, the morale of the existing employees goes down or sometimes it falls, and the new employees may not adjust in the rules and the regulations of the organization, which means more chances of the turnovers. And this one is the expensive method also, because when we invite the outsider to apply for the job, so companies have to bear heavy burden of the advertising. And this is also another drawback, lengthy process also, because external recruitment takes long time. So this first component we have done, components of the staffing, recruitment, selection, training. So first I started recruitment, and in the recruitment I discussed with you internal sources and the external sources. Now rest of the topic we will discuss by tomorrow.